I can't explain it. I've never met anybody that has the type of energy and the things that he says, but he just continues to do it. And so it's not a surprise at this point.
55 and alive. 55 and alive.
Welcome back to the Blue Tea Podcast. I will call this a very special episode due to our guests there. And Wied, I'll introduce you as the best dressed guest on the Blue Tea Podcast history. It's a short history, but my goodness, way to step up.
Hey, you're welcome. We want to add viewership to this. Content is king.
Add some class, and you're joined by your eldest son, young Cole Wied as well. Welcome, Cole. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. Grateful to be here. A long time coming.
Been looking forward to having Wied and family on the podcast. Wied is one of our more unique members of the friend group, a great sport, a great guy, and very serious about his fantasy football, which is where we're going to kick off this podcast, is talking about our fantasy football league. So when we do the Fellas Cup, we always time it that second to last week of August and play golf Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we end the week with our fantasy draft. Wied, I know we'll talk about your improved golf game, but how would you rate your golf versus fantasy football preparation and focus during the Fellas Cup weekend?
It's interesting you bring that question up because I think what happens here nowadays, some people like to diminish their fantasy draft because it's a nice excuse. Like, they just stink for some reason and they don't want to get better. And they should get better. I'm a person, you do everything 100%, Shay. You do your best at golf, you do your best at fantasy draft. I want to see people commit to the process of being better. In the words of Mark Abrahamson, he uses his quote from, oh gosh, it's slipping my mind right now. Sorry, Abe, but
and we're back.
Carpe
back. Diem. That's for you. Yeah, Carpe Diem, seize the day, 100% on everything. So you don't split.
So yeah, my prep this year I was a little lacking.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I start this process about a month out.
Okay.
Just kind of looking at mock drafts. I don't always agree with them. So part of this tie shape, there's Matthew Berry, there's Jamie Eisenberg, and then there's me. And I'm better than both. So there you go.
Wow. Shots fired right off the Cole. What do you have had to live with this? You're now part of the league. We're going to get to some of the controversy in terms of how much you're part of the league, but you've lived with this 24/7, this guy and his fantasy prowess. Obviously some of it's rubbed off, but how do you deal with it, this guy?
Growing up with it, it's just been a constant, war zone at the house in terms of trash talk.
Sure.
The preparedness behind fantasy football. Everything that I do ever is just because, I taught you that. So it's kind of hard to be
father like son,
your own thing, kind of living in the big man's shadows. But I don't know that I can't explain it. I've never met anybody that has the type of energy and the things that he says. But he just continues to do it. And so it's not a surprise at this point.
55 and alive. 55 and alive.
All right. So we're going to cover fantasy draft, and then we're going to end with a little bit of our Windy City Cup. Part of your kind of fantasy football fanaticism, I'll say, is you have treated us over the years, and this goes back a long time, with post-draft grades. So I guess you put on your tie and you start going through, you break down everyone's team. And up until this year, it's always been in the form of an email. It started with like, who is this character? Why is he dogging my team? To the point of like, after 2 or 3 years, we've been begging for it. Like the league is like, Wied, where are the draft grades? We want it. We love it. It's like a chance to get roasted by the best, the roast master. So tell us about your draft grade process and how it's evolved. I know you've changed scoring systems or ranking or grading systems, I guess we should say. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, first, I want to give kudos to you, Shafe. You created in what I would call the greatest fantasy league.
Wow.
So there's a lot out there. There's different rules, but I really think this one has been the best. And unfortunately, in my opinion, it's come under controversy.
Interesting.
I think it's related to a family member of yours.
What
So
is that?
I am going to, this has always been known as the Fellas Fantasy League.
Mm-hmm.
It will now be known as the JFFL, the Joe Fantasy League, Football Fantasy League.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Joe is recently retired. Congratulations to him. He's an educator of 30 years and all kids
God
are
bless
better
him.
for knowing Joe. I can assure you that. My concern about Joe is he has too much time on his hands. Joe has been writing PowerPoints, trying to make the league fair because of quarterback play. But the problem with this that I have is Joe has in 25 years has never won. So of course he wants to skew those numbers some, but I would just say figure out how to win. Let's just figure out how to win. Let's focus on that. So we have changed the rankings. Typically, it started out as like maybe 5 stars or letter grades. Lombardi trophies was probably the most recent. But now, because of the most recent controversy, I think it's only appropriate to grade people on the number of incompletions. That was important to Joe. The quarterbacks are now penalized, which I've never heard of, because an incompletion actually can be a positive play in some cases. But our league is now penalizing that, and I think that is
half a point
absurd.
off per incompletion.
Yes,
Yeah.
just absurd. So my ratings this year will be if you got 4 incompletions, you failed.
Okay.
If you got 3, letter grade equivalent would be a D. 2 incompletions would be a C, and then 1 incompletion would be a B. And then, of course, there is only 1 with 0 incompletions on the draft because it's just too rock solid as it is every year.
Sure. Well, yeah, I'm going to try to do some technology here. You referenced Joe. I'm going to see if I can actually pull this up.
I've never viewed the PowerPoint. I never had an interest in seeing it. I was more disappointed than I was interested. Oh, Wied, I just said, he made that?
Sure did. So, Wied, you were just referencing the PowerPoint. Oh, so retired Joe made this PowerPoint. I think it's a 15-slide PowerPoint to make the case for the rule change that you just referenced, the charging quarterbacks minus half a point per incompletion due to them outranking
just trying to balance out the league.
Yeah, just try to balance it out.
Which is what has separated your fantasy league from all the others.
You're trying to divide me and my cousin Joe, my captain.
No, not trying to. I think he's doing it himself.
Okay. So yeah, so this is an example of the dedication by members of this fantasy league. You didn't even give Joe the courtesy of opening this PowerPoint and reviewing it. Wow.
No. There's no need for that.
That's tough.
Let's just focus on the positives and the good things we've got going.
We thank you for preparing your draft grades. I got one more surprise for you before we get into it. So a member of our fellas group, you've seen him on the Blue Tea Pod in an early episode when Matthew and I went to Arizona, play golf, one Jeff Hoyle, affectionately known as Huck, a sometimes attender of the Fellas Cup. He's hit and miss. He missed this year.
He's kind of a one-day wonder, but he's there.
He does do that. He was in our fantasy league, but then transitioned his team over to Brad McDonald, and now I don't even think he's officially part of Brad's team anymore. So he's no longer in the fantasy league as well, right?
Dave, I would disagree with you. I think Huck is trying to run from behind the scenes.
Interesting.
He doesn't want the full thing. But, if people call asking, inquiring about things, somehow Huck he
involves himself. Yeah.
So So I think I'm not sure what his story is right now. Maybe it's the Arizona heat. I know that heat. I've been in Vegas. It can do stuff to your brain. But my hope is he figures this piece of himself out.
Well, okay. So with that, Huck, in true form, did provide this as a preparation for your draft grades.
David James Schaefer, your podcast is well on its way to probably being the best one
Thank you,
in
Huck.
America. And I got news for you. I'm absolutely devastated that I cannot be with you on this coming episode to talk about the fantasy football grades.
You
I'm
want
on
to
a
be
plane, and man, if I could change that flight to be on the Blue Tea Pod, I definitely would. A couple things I think your audience needs to understand, though, as they look into this episode. The guy that you're the guest, shall we call it, that you have on is a guy by the name of Kurt William Wied. Just want to provide a little context on this guy. I've got a lot of years of experience, 40 plus with who he is. He's not a good golfer. Let's just get that out in the open. The same guy
Anytime, anywhere.
From 3-putted from 6 feet with the match on the line. If he makes the putt, he wins. He misses that one, of course. Then it's 18 inches. All he's got to do is knock that one in the hole, and he gets a half a point.
There it is.
That one came up short. Who comes up short?
Drinking game. It's been referenced
on
again.
The 18th tee with everybody looking other than Kurt Wied. So that's a little bit of commentary on his golf.
He's not done.
He's had a chip on his shoulder since 1991. Let's just be candid about that. There was a little game involving Duke and UNLV, and Duke won, and Wied has not recovered since. That was 34 years ago. Duke has gone on to win 5 national titles. UNLV has yet to win a meaningful game.
Edit.
Bitter about that. He takes it out in his grades.
Coach can't wash his hair
every year, and you'll notice again. I'm sure he got an A+. He's never given his team anything but an A+. And he tends to have an issue with the mullets because the Duke UNLV factor. I mean, a lot of reasons. But I mean, just so your audience knows, this dude's a unique bird. I'm just telling you that. I mean, it's 2025, and this dude balances his checkbook. Who does that? I mean, who uses checkbooks in 2025 except for Kurt William Wied? And he does it with a crayon. So as they look at these grades, as they hear about these grades, just want to let you know who you're talking to. Have a great day. Hope it's a great pod.
Wow. Wied, what do we have to say about this?
Look at the source. Look at the source. That's all you have to say.
I will note that he referenced
his love of Duke. His father went to Duke. He didn't go to Duke. He went to something called Westmont, the Romp Rangers.
That's right.
Let's not even bring up this. The Rebels crushed Duke by 30.
Yeah, he started his history in 1991. He didn't go back to 1990, I noticed.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. He's an in and outer. He's in and out on Fellas Cup. He's in and out on, does he want to be in the draft? Does he not want to be in the draft? And he kind of wants to be in the draft. So that speaks for itself.
There you go. I think
Next
that was
question.
Good rebuttal. Well done. All right. No further ado. No more interruptions. Wied, with the draft grades, hit us with it.
We're going to start basic, no incompletions, known as Wied, also known as 18 inches, but also known as the ATFL, the all-time fantasy leader, which is me. And there's numbers to represent that. My great friend Mark Abrahamson calls my dominance a robust sample size. Thank you, Abe, for those words. Very kind.
Yeah, we're going back 25 plus years of
and I've
league
been
history.
I've been at the top the entire time. So there's something to be said. I'll let my colleagues, when my time is done, I'll let them decide my place in history. So the ATFL, no incompletions. Why? Just depth. We're good at running back. We're good at receiver. We've got solid players all over the board. There's only 1 4 incompletions, which would equate to an F.
One thing before you get to that, just because the Blue Tea Pod is all about accuracy, transparency, we are filming this post week 1 because it took a little while for us to connect on this. But you are saying these draft grades, no adjustments have been made based on performance of week 1. Okay.
No. I'll say back to Joe's idea, speaking on your behalf, you should have 86 points. So, or 83
Josh Allen,
points.
Buffalo Bills.
Josh Allen. He lit it up. What a week for Josh. But of course, he's penalized because he had incompletions. That just makes no sense.
Okay. Moving
on now, letting it go. So there is 1 with 4 incompletions, which would equate to an F. And gosh darn it, this poor guy. I think he's maybe having just some challenges right now. Our prayers and thoughts are with him. But that's our good friend Curtis Wied. That he's a
That's
part
very
of.
kind of you to send thoughts and prayers as you give him a F,
Yes,
the equivalent
yes.
of an F.
Well,
Yeah.
there's some, we got to talk in truth here. So Curtis is a big part of Abe Froman's Sausage Kings of Chicago, and
Mhm.
he was unable to make it at like a last minute. His presence was definitely felt on the golf course, not having him. But then the follow-up on the draft was just a train wreck. I don't know what happened to Mr. Webb. Maybe he was resting. Maybe he was watching, but just incoherent. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened to Curtis. But
It
get
might have been
well.
some
We need
auto
you next year.
drafting there late in the
Yeah,
draft.
don't ever do that because
Yeah,
it
you're not
shows up
a
here.
proponent of the auto draft
Just
lead.
be committed to the process.
Yeah,
This was the
100%.
fastest draft we ever probably had.
Yep.
Just sit in there, put a team together. Let's construct what we need to.
All right,
Okay.
tough grade for Webb.
Yes, 3 incompletions. And this will be a surprise because this guy usually formulates a really good team. And he does. It's not that it's a bad team, but it's 3 incompletions.
You're giving him a D.
But I'm giving him a D, and this is Scott Basie. 3 incompletions on Scott. Waited too long on the quarterbacks. This guy likes to hold out to the very end to grab that special quarterback. And he may have pulled it off with Aaron Rodgers. I'm not sure. But so far, Tua's got him 14 points. I look forward to a spirited match with him. His best pick was his Marvin Harrison. I like that pick. But my fear for him is he'll play some quarterback roulette this year. So, well, that's Scotty. Now we're going to 2 incompletions, and there's a series of people with 2.
And
so
this
how
is
we're
a
going to
C,
break them all, which
the
would be a
equivalent of a
C.
C. Okay.
And we're going to start with Matthew Schaefer. This kid, he's doing okay. He's doing okay. I like this kid. I've traded with this guy. He's up on me in the trades, which usually doesn't happen, but I'll give him his flowers. He's a little thin at quarterback. Caleb Williams, gosh darn, you're hoping he's going to turn that corner, but Monday night he's just throwing the ball high. He looked so good in the first half, and then the second half was a little bit of a train wreck, so he'll have a little bit of a challenge. My favorite pick for him was this Jackson Smith. I won't try to pronounce the last name, but that was a great wide receiver pick.
Seattle receiver.
A worst player, really none for him. He did a good job there.
So let me, Matthew's obviously absent from this pod. Proud of young Matthew. He's actually attending class this morning at Kennesaw State.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, shocker. He chose to actually attend class versus attend the Blue Tea Pod taping. So probably a tough decision for him, but yeah, proud of the young man.
The kid is maturing. He's growing before our eyes.
Yeah,
good job, Matt.
He wears
Keep it up.
glasses now. He's more of an intellectual.
Looks very academic. Yes, kid. Okay. My friend Abe. Love this guy.
Your
There's
captain.
some things. Yes, our captain.
The Sausage King himself.
Something to talk about here in a little bit. 2 incompletions for Abe.
Okay.
Loved his Jaden Daniels pick. Great
Sure.
player. Worst pick. Well, I think at the end, I said kind of his group of his wide receivers. He needs a true number 1. He's got good players there, but he doesn't have a true number 1. So he may have to tinker with that a little bit. He got 2 incompletions. Next is Joe Ray Fantasy Football League. This is Joe. He got 2 incompletions. I liked his players of Drake London and James Cook. He's still a little bit thin at the running back. I think his worst pick was Brian Robinson.
Weed, very big of you to only give Joe 2 incompletions. Like, I think, based on how you open this and renaming the league after him, and obviously not a fan of the rule that he pushed through. I mean, to give it what feels like a true grade based on your opinion, very big of you. Integrity, Weed.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dave. Next, we call them the mullets. We don't know if it's 1 mullet. We don't know if it's 2 mullets. Jeff Hoyle, again, in and out. Is he in? Is he out? But let's consult with him anyways, and I would say why, but that's me. So 2 incompletions for them. Thin at running back, though they did get Derrick Henry, and man, what a beast. Worst pick for me was Isaiah Pacheco. Not going to do a lot for me where they got him. They got him early on, and they could have done better there.
Okay.
Jim Birdsall. The TPC himself.
Yeah.
The man.
My member guest partner, be kind, Weed. I don't need him in a bad headspace.
I always have wondered, why do you always get the member guest pass? But that's not here nor there. Just know there's 12 other people that would maybe like to play with Scotty Scheffler or Will Zalatoris. Well, but that's not for today. Jim Birdsall, 2 incompletions. Needs to be better at wide receiver. Disappointed in his Buffalo D. Not his fault. I think they're just overrated. Best pick, of course, Josh Jacobs. Love that guy. Great running back.
Okay.
So that was Jim. Dave Schaefer comes up in the 2 incompletions.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
2 incomplete. Oh, wow. Well, we can discuss later.
What's wrong with the squad?
Dave was more focused at Buffalo Wild Wings on shouting out, "What are they going to say now?
What are they
What are
gonna
they going to
say
say
now?
now?" And pounding the table, and was just really soaking in his victory for his team. But I really think soaking in more the victory for himself. I'm not saying he's selfish. I'm not saying he's not a team guy, but I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Okay. Fair.
So best pick, Ashton Gente. Love that. Worst pick, Chris Olave. Not interested in that New Orleans quarterback situation at all. Moving on, Brian Benning always forms a good team.
The commish.
Yeah, the commissioner, but he kind of trees. You know, he either wins it or he stinks. There's nothing in the middle. There's no middle ground. It's either a win or a horrible showing for the year. But we'll see what he does. I don't love his quarterbacks. Of course, you love Christian McCaffrey if he stays healthy. Just too much quarterback uncertainty. I think you kind of experience that a little bit with Trevor Lawrence, but that does impact me. So we're pulling for Trevor to open it up here and get a little better. So John Naperkowski, Nate, we're going to actually now we're shifting to 1 incompletions. So this is a B. We've got about
these
4
are
players
on the right side of the grading curve. These are your better
Yes.
teams. Okay.
Yes, I've got 4 teams here that are Bs, could be better. Nape is one of those. I liked his Shane pick, but the Dolphins really look like they're in disarray, so who knows how that's all about to fall out. A little thin at running back. Love the Dak pick. I wanted to take Dak. I just couldn't pull the trigger, but I think he's going to be pretty happy with him and CD Lamb. As long as CD goes and learns how to catch the ball.
Okay.
The DSL, 1 incompletion. Questions with Stroud. I think that showed up. He hasn't been. I know you can see it on his face. He's not happy.
we need to address the controversy here. DSL stands for Danae, Susie, and Liz, 3 of the wives of
with
3
a
of
GM
us,
of Cole,
with a young Cole there in the background holding the trophy. A lot of talk in the text group and in person about who's really running this squad. What influence? I can speak for Sue. Not a lot of day-to-day communications. I don't know, Cole, your management style. Are you having daily stand-ups with DSL? I don't know, but yeah, a lot of controversy there.
Yeah. Which really, we'll come back to it. Seems really unnecessary. Again, people spinning their wheels. I think there's more important things to be doing than worrying about who's really running the organization. But I think Liz Birdsall made it really clear. It's the 3 ladies and Cole works for them. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, questions with Stroud. Would like them to have a little bit better running backs. Love their wide receivers, but I don't love necessarily their quarterbacks of Russell and Jackson Dart. Malik Neighbors is a stud. I think Nico will be solid. But Stroud, we're hoping he's going to be better, closer to his rookie year than last year.
I also have Jordan Love too, which the backup quarterback looks good.
The backup is strong. That is an oversight on my part, but we have to remember now the Packer defense looks pretty outstanding. I think they're going to shut down quite a few teams. So how much Jordan Love is going to be used, I'm not sure. They may not need him a lot. So time will tell, Cole.
All right. So before we move off of DSL, we got to give Cole his flowers.
Yes.
Saying that a lot on here. Okay. So I think this may have helped the consternation and the controversy of who's really running DSL is when we get hit with this video in the text thread on the eve of the Windy City Cup.
What's up, fellas? Hope you all are having a fun time while you're out playing golf. I'm just preparing for this spot right here. It's going to be another great year. There's a lot to look forward to. A championship, another title, another year of dominance. I know. My dad, he's been in the league for a long time. He's got a lot of memorable plaques on this little trophy. But unfortunately, there's a new sheriff in town. His name's Cole Wied.
Cole, a lot of thigh in that video there. I just noticed. Hadn't noticed
Yeah,
that before.
I didn't really get to say my piece about the whole ownership thing. It was kind of a Michael Jordan-esque like locker room celebration moment. I've been waiting to get the trophy for a while. But in terms of the way the team is run, it's exactly how it's been laid out here. Is that
Cole, be careful not to. Just a quick warning shot.
Let the man speak.
and
Back
so
off.
so I can be thrown away like a just piece of trash.
Sure.
I am at the disposable income of Susie, Liz, and Danae. And
Gotcha.
so I am just excited that I've been given the great opportunity to run such a unique and woman-led franchise. And I think that I've been put in a really great spot, just by the support they give me. And so, like I said, this is completely their franchise. I am just a mere puzzle piece. Now, coming back to your point about Susie, I probably could be a little bit more communicative with the owners about the moves that the front office is making.
Sure.
But in terms of the video, honestly, it was kind of a ode to them. Just the leadership that they've ran with this franchise,
Yeah.
and the ability that they've entrusted in me to run it properly.
I think that's incredibly well said, Cole. The fact that you did not mention them, I think, in the video, yet it's still an ode to them, is some mental gymnastics there. But I hear you. We'll see. We like your participation in the league. You spice it up. You come from a family of interesting characters.
Insane people.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it going.
All right, Nick, great team. Love his QBs. Highlight of the draft for me. Now, this will not be spoken. And it will be denied, I have a feeling. But I think in year one, I was not at the draft. I was drafting over the phone. But it's my understanding that 2 quarterbacks were taken pretty quickly by the same person. And I don't think Will Richardson ever really recovered from that, because I'll hear that once in a while. It might even be on his T-shirt that he wears. I'm not sure.
Right.
I really love the move that after Nick has selected Lamar Jackson, I think it's round 4 that he pulls the trigger also on Jalen Hurts, where I believe Will was waiting on the turn. He was going to get one more guy in the 3rd round and then snag Jalen in the 4th. I really loved watching that happen. So I don't think it'll be talked about, but I did get to watch body language of Will at Buffalo Wild Wings. And let me just say, inside, I was thrilled. Nice job, Nick. Okay, so maybe will add to the shirt. We can add just a commentary where Nick snaked him out of Jalen Hurts. We'll see if that happens.
Okay.
No downfalls really for Nick here. Good team. Kind of an interesting pick of Hurts. Not necessary, but he went with it. Could that come back and haunt him? It could, because he missed out on getting another player in the 4th round. So, and then of course, my nemesis, as you have been, but I think it's really more Will the Thrill right now in my life. He is a thorn in the ATFL side. This guy's done it again. Great roster. 1 incompletion for him. Love his running backs of Chase Brown and Bucky Irvin. Question his 3rd receiver.
We start picking on the 3rd receiver, you've got a good team.
You've got a good team. He's strong all over the board. Problem with him, again, QB roulette. It's going to be a Kyler, Dalton, and then I can't remember his 3rd guy, but he'll be back and forth with his quarterback. So, Justin Herbert. So like last week, Herbert was good. He pulled him. He played Kyler Murray. His head is spinning as we speak for week 2. Okay, there's a lot. So those are our grade shape. We've got 4 people with 1 incompletion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with 2 incompletions, 1 with 3, 1 with 4, and then 1 with 0. So
okay, I was trying to do quick math in my head. I do believe you just added up to 14, because in the past there has been a time or two where we've forgotten a team.
Yeah, we left people off,
grades.
and that was probably what they did in the draft, and it just was
like wasn't memorable.
Yeah, it was like wait till next year.
Okay, well, but right before we jump from fantasy, so I'm sure you have this in your memory bank. I know it's in the fantasy Bible, as you call it, the history of the league.
We don't want to offend anyone. We know it's not a Bible, but it is a great document of the fantasy league.
Great clarification. Thank you, Wied, on that. Um, what is the current standing of all time championships won? You call yourself the ATFL, but I don't think you lead in total
I don't lead in
championships. Okay.
championships. I
What's
have
the
8.
standing? Okay.
I have 8. I think Brian Binning has 10. I think Will has, I want to say 8. I think you have 8, I believe. What separates, in my opinion, I've got the most wins.
Most
I don't know
regular
what else to
season
really
and
say,
playoff
which
wins.
is
Yeah.
it's about 18 to 20 more wins than everybody else, which is really a full season. That's a lot. Pretty high winning percentage, you know. I think it's been earned. I don't know what else to say, but I'll let my colleagues figure it out when my time is done.
Yeah. Yeah. Not for you to proclaim anything here. Certainly.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Planning to get the 10 this year. So we'll see. I have 8. I just want to add a couple other things here. The
Please.
robust, yes,
Please, by all means.
a robust sample size. It's been already talked about. The
Mhm.
wins. Highest points ever in one game. And I think that was a 275 mark, if I remember. That was pretty wild. And it was
Yeah.
really Aaron Rodgers, who has harmed me many, many times over the years, but I keep taking him, that he just stunk against the Denver Broncos. Otherwise, that could have been a 3 spot that night. But
Wow.
we'll take it at that.
And I think you owe Joe, you need to tell Joe thank you, because that record is now safe in perpetuity, I would think, with the now deduction in points
Yeah,
due to
no, I
incompletions.
can't do that. I can't go that
No.
far. No,
Mm.
no.
Sorry.
But,
I
you know,
try.
Joe, you keep working on trying to make this winnable for yourself. I'm fine with that. Whatever you need to do.
Speaking of Joe, we're going to transition to Captain Joe versus Captain Abe in the Windy City Cup, just completed about 3 weeks ago. Great time. Wied, I know you've got some thoughts on the week, as you want to do. Let me kick it off with another video here. This is Captain Joe, who couldn't be here with us today, sharing some of his thoughts.
Greetings from Dallas, Georgia. I'm down here in my man cave, which proudly displays the beautiful Windy City Cup right here. Dave wanted me to do a quick message, a little shout out to the Untouchables. I want to thank my team, Dave, Will, Scott, Brian, John. I want to thank you for your hard work and your dedication to the Cup and bringing that home. It's because of you guys that I could be a proud captain of the Untouchables. I also want to shout out to Mark Abraham's team, Abe Froman's Sausage Kings, for their efforts. Turns out they're pretty good sports for losing 12-6. Not bad, guys. All right. But I just think we had a great time in Chicago. Can't wait till we all get together. Next one's going to be in Colorado. Hopefully we'll get everybody out there. I already miss it. We're two and a half weeks out and I already miss it. Went by too fast. It can't come quick enough. All right. But again, just want to say thank you to the Untouchables and Abe Froman. Thus endeth the lesson. Thanks, guys.
Well done, Captain Joe. Little Untouchables quote there at the end. Look, he was polishing his putter, it looked like, during that video. That was maybe symbolism of some sort. I'm not sure what exactly. Wied, it sounds like you sounds like you have some thoughts prepared. Why don't you lead us off with takeaways from the Windy City Cup, and unfortunately being on the losing side of a 12-6 defeat, one of the larger margins of victory in Fellas Cup history. But please, what were some of your takeaways?
Well, let's first tell the Untouchables, just congratulations. Great.
Big of you.
Great to watch. What a fun weekend. You know, I know we all really enjoyed Cog Hill, but I also really enjoyed that the Executive 9. I thought that was pretty neat, right against the water with the city as a backdrop. So shout out to both captains for their planning, their organization, everybody else who played a part in that. Lots of time and commitment in that. So just thank you to everyone who was involved.
Yeah, I'll echo that, especially Captain Abe's got some ties to Chicago. Did a great job organizing the whole weekend, kind of running quarterback on that. We stayed in downtown Chicago the first night, went to the Cubs game at Wrigley. That was a blast. Then did that Executive 9 at Sydney, Mirovich, or whatever, Muni. Of course, that was a ton of fun. And then off to Cog Hill. But yeah, Abe was pulling the strings and keeping us all organized. I think that maybe now that I'm talking through it, maybe over focus on planning and preparation of the trip and maybe not as much captaining or golf playing of the Sausage Kings. I don't know. From outsider looking in, maybe that could have been an issue.
You know, Dave, I'll stay clear of that. Can't speak to anyone's preparation but my own. But yeah, I think there's a lot for Abe. I think he had a lot on his plate. So Abe, thanks for all your efforts. But first off, great highlight. You already mentioned it, going to Wrigley Field. That was always on my bucket list. We did go there a few years ago to see a concert, but to go see a Cubs game there, that was pretty neat for me. So really enjoyed that. Traveling out there, I went with Brad McDonald and just had some good talks with him. It was fun spending some time with him. Kyle Jacobson.
Yes.
Wow. Well, welcome to the Fellows Cup. It was just great to see you and enjoy time with you and your company. Please continue to join us. I think that's in the works. The malt, drinking the malt. Lots of people jumped in on the malt.
Yep, sure did.
The malt kind of came back on a couple of people, but it was good. We love that malt.
You got mid-50s guys after a long day,
slamming a malt,
sucking down a malt.
That might hurt you later in the evening, which I know it did for a few, but great malt all the same. Shafe enjoying his win, right? What are they going to say now? Quote, pounding the table.
Shout out to Will Zalatoris.
Yes. One of my highlights, playing with Jim, losing or beating Joe Ray and Brian Benning. That was kind of fun for Jim and I. I think that was a nice win. I wish I would have played a little bit better with Jim, but I think we got through it, and that was exciting. I never got a big hug from Jim Birdsall. He put that bear hug on me, and I felt that. So that was
good
neat.
Hugger. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
absolutely.
a big hugger, that cat.
You know, your performance there may lead to a future member guest invite. Like I've
been waiting 14 years, so whenever it comes, I'm ready. Couple other highlights. Doing push-ups in the restaurant. Cranking out, I think it was 43, I want to say. Not bad. Might have been more than that.
As someone who doesn't complete a single push-up or even attempts one, I will kind of second guess, like a little short arm, little alligator arm, maybe
I tried
on some
to
of
show
those.
you more the full push-up.
Yes. Which I was treated to in the privacy of our hotel room, was we doing push-ups on the floor, showing me the proper form.
I think we needed some clarification on that.
Yeah. That's cool. It's like, oh my gosh.
That was important.
Jokers.
Will's reaction, how you talked about that. That was fun for me. A couple low lights, not low lights. Abe, great captain. I think he got a little ahead of himself on trading away Brian Benning.
Wow.
I play a fair amount of golf with Brian Benning. He's a good player.
Sure is.
And not that Curtis Webb isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, with how that all transpired, it looks like the Nico Collins trade.
Oh.
Luka and Anthony Davis. Right now, we've got to figure that out. But
might need to revisit his scouting report.
I think next time we need to run things by the team before we pull the trigger.
Kind of like a Cole DSL situation.
More
collaboration, less dictatorship.
Now, I want to say, though, when Abe said, I signed off on it. I was good. When I saw it, I thought I was excited. But Brian Benning's a good golfer. And then to see him come back and beat Jim Birdsall, our best player, that was like salt in the wound. Gosh darn,
tough.
Right? So
yeah,
it didn't sit well, but that's all right. We're on to next year. I learned from Abe, he likes the entire green cleared when he is putting. We are all to mark our ball.
Yes.
We did that. Abe has a way he likes things done, and I'm happy to accommodate Abe as best I can. I walk away going, that's a little nuts, but I'm good. When it comes back, well, we want to play by the rules. Great. Well, we're all like 50 plus, and we all aren't really that good, and we're not playing for anything other than that plastic cup. I want that plastic cup, but gosh darn, if I don't want to bend over and mark my ball, let me just have my piece.
Wow. Sounds like this has lingered with you a little bit.
A little bit. Watching Shafe, Jim, and Brian at Dubs.
Yep.
It felt like hours on every shot. We were just waiting on you guys. And I'm just encouraging a little faster process. I know this is important. There's a lot on the line here. There's that plastic cup. And it's
Right.
not that it's plastic, it's that it's the cup. So we want to serve ourselves well. But there's also something to say you could be overthinking something as well. So take it into perspective.
Feedback received there. I think part of the
Feedback.
problem there, Wied, was us and especially me spraying balls out of bounds off the tee and
No
slowing
need
us
to
down.
explain. We
Okay.
all have our pace. I just expected a little more from 3 of the better players, that they'd have a little faster pace.
Interesting. Okay.
And then most important, just the importance of connecting, echoing Joe from a few weeks back on the podcast, having lifelong relationships with friends that you've known pretty much your whole life in much of a capacity. Not many people have that. And I know that from the people I talk to. So we don't ever want to take that for granted. We're all getting older. Committing a few days to events like that, that's important. And my hope is everyone can do that, that it's a pretty seamless process for everybody. And I just look forward to seeing everybody next year and have fun with your fantasy season. I already miss it too, like Joe. It's fun to get together and play golf. But yeah, just wishing you a good 2025.
Well said, Wied. Yep. Agree 100%. It's my favorite weekend of the year. There is not a close second, although maybe this upcoming weekend I'm playing with Jim at the member guest.
To the member guest, I know.
Yeah, talking about
I'm
pressure.
sure I'll be getting birdie texts and going, gosh,
My
when I
third
go play the
third
member
go
guest?
at this. Like, frankly, if we don't perform a little better, I wouldn't be surprised to see that invite go out to someone
The
else.
truth is, we're just not good enough to be at the member guest, and you are. So that's a credit to you. Keep up the
Well-
250 rounds. You're playing about 240 more rounds than I am, and so I understand why you're there.
Wied, I'm about to enter the job search, or I am in the job search, so I could appreciate you not airing out my golf frequency here. Like, a future employer is going to be looking at this.
Shared, you have editing privileges. We're all aware.
It's all good.
And
All
hire this
right.
guy. You're getting quality there. Hire this person.
Yeah, I mean,
And
digital
click
marketer.
this link, because we want the viewership up into the millions if we can do it. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Wied, thanks so much. Cole, thank you for joining. A great addition. Enjoyed our time here together. Wied, awesome to see you on this trip to Colorado.
Yeah, it
on
was great.
film. It's been a great time out here in Colorado. We did film a couple of our matches, including an earlier one at TPC and then one at Air Force Academy. With all my free time, I'll do a little editing and crank out some of those. Shout out to your other son, Cade, with the great content of the Blue Tea Pod After Dark with Maggie and Matthew. That was fun. So we're in the content generation biz here on the Blue Tea Podcast.